While Makoto and her giant robot Stripe held off the sorcerers on the outside of the laboratory, Touma would continue his work with Index on the inside. As she lied on the operating table, her body heat starting to rise, the closeness of the hour was upon them. For just 15 minutes past midnight, if the ceremony was not carried out, Index would die. But now what stood before him was a hologram, a video message recorded by Michael Holt, aka Mr. Terrific, left behind as a memoir for whoever would carry on in his legacy. If you're watching this, it means I am no longer with you. Chances are you've been chosen to inherit my duty to Index. I wish I could go into more detail about myself, but these are pressing times, so I'll try to keep things as simple and as quickly as possible. My name is Michael Holt, though to many others I am known as Mr. Terrific, one of the forebears in the scientific world. I have had dealings with the organization known as Necessary Evil, or Necessarius. I came into contact with them a little over 5 years ago. Of course, in the world of science and magic, both communities tend to keep themselves separate. They're two forces of nature, ones that can't easily coexist. Of course, I had my misgivings about Necessarius, but when I came to learn of their plight, when they became involved in a war with a billionaire tycoon, a forebear in the scientific arts, a man by the name of Maxwell Lord IV, the leader of Lord Tech Foundation. Maxwell, much like his father and his father's father, they have had a precedent for trying to combine magic and technology. Somehow they became aware of the 1,100 grimoires stored inside of Index's mind. I believe that Lord Tech intends to use these grimoires, combined with New Age technology, to become the forebearer in the world, to have ultimate mastery over technology and magic. While I myself have always been a skeptic to magic, I cannot deny its existence. And at the same time, I knew that I couldn't allow that power to fall into the wrong hands. From then on, I began working with Necessarius, and we led a crusade against Lord Tech. We've had skirmishes all across the world, fighting for various resources, magical artifacts, territory. We've suffered both loss and we've gained victory. However, I had my misgivings about Index, her condition that required for her memory to be erased every year. It was about 2 years ago when I made my decision. I attempted to undo the curse that was bound to Index, but in the process, the hologram said, lifting up his shirt, "It seems that I have become the one that is afflicted. I won't use the grimoire's power. I wouldn't be able to comprehend it, and even if I could, I doubt my body could handle such a rigorous process. I'm not sure how much time I have. Necessarius isn't too happy with me. We were working on more of a handshake deal, but now that I've taken Index into my custody, that's pretty much gone out the window. I have about less than a year left. I know that the members of Necessarius, Kaori, and Magnus are going to be on my tail, along with Maxwell Lord and Lord Tech. But I have to keep trying. From what I've been able to tell, there is a ruin in the back of Index's throat. That ruined symbol seems to be the source of all of her affliction. If the ruin can somehow be undone or destroyed, then maybe it can save her life. Of course, I'm not well versed with magic, and I've tried to seek advice from those in the mystic arts. In the Narukama district, there is a house. It's known as the Seika Dorm. It's headed by an elderly man who's said to be an exorcist. I consulted him on the matter, but this was even beyond his capabilities. Perhaps science can be the key. After all, the line between magic and science is said to be thin, that they're two halves of the same coin. It's simply a matter of trying to figure out where the pieces lie. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I know one thing. I cannot allow for Index to fall into Lord Tech's hands, under any circumstance. I am sorry that I have tasked you with this burden, but please, use my knowledge. Use everything at your disposal. Save Index. So that's the deal. Index was cursed by Necessarius, more than likely to try to keep her under control. If the ruined symbol's in the back of her throat, then no wonder why I wouldn't be able to find it. Even with the power of my right hand, I still can't dispel it unless I make contact with the curse. Meanwhile, on the outside, Mikoto found herself engaged in battle against Kaori, while Stripe was dealing with Magnus and his magical flames. The two sorcerers were desperate to get on the inside, desperate to get to Index. Magnus had summoned Incantus, the large fire golem, raining down his endless flames upon Stripe, using its reinforced robotic body to bind against the large fire kaiju. Temperature is beginning to rise, reaching 500 degrees Fahrenheit and counting. Misaka takes notice while engaged in battle against Sorcerer. "Wow, you magical guys are really strong," Mikoto said. "I'd even say you're on par with the high-level espers." "Do not compare us," Kaori would say. "We don't have time for these games. We need to get to Index now." "Yeah, I'm sure you do. I don't know too much about Index or anything. Honestly, I think she's a weirdo. But from what I've heard, you guys are supposed to be her best friends. So you're hunting her down like a wild animal. Some friends you turned out to be." "You know nothing about us, you or the boy. You both continue to interfere, to get involved in things that are beyond you. You are heretics without faith. You could not understand the greater workings of, greater workings, higher power, we all get the gist. You believe in some great magical force in the sky that tells you everything you need to know, that tells you right from wrong. I gotta say, it's gotta be one of the most dullest existence I have ever heard of. And you dare to mock us further. All I'm saying is, at least whenever I make a decision, I know I made it for myself," Misaka would say as she fired off a shot from her railgun staff. Using it, she was able to fly into the air to avoid the wire magic of Kaori. "But not you guys, though. You guys have to rely on some magical force, something that you say guides you. Tell me, do you actually even believe in that? Or is it just a convenient lie that you tell yourself?" "You blasphemous witch! If the boot fits!" Another shot of the railgun would collide with Kaori's blade, as she used it to slice away at the attack. Mikasa would keep her distance, and Stripe would continue to wrangle in the fiery monster. "It's almost past midnight. We don't have time for this. We need to get in there and get to Index immediately. I'm going to find a way to penetrate the defense. The second I have an opening, I'm going to flood the inside with flames. I don't care if we have to burn them all to a crisp." We can't do that, Magnus, Kaori would say. If we kill even one of them here, and we don't have a choice. They're the ones that started it. But it could lead to a full-scale war. Magnus, I don't think we can. We're out of time. We can't think anymore. We don't have that luxury. They've already chosen their side. We know what we have to do. You're right. I am sorry. Kaori would raise her blade. Mikasa, standing with Stripe. It looks like they're getting set for round 2. Be on your guard. Understood, Misaka said, preparing for the next stage of this battle. We'll have to take them out in one move. We get inside, restrain everyone. And the boy, we kill him. That's what we do. Meanwhile, on the inside, Index's condition was starting to get worse. Touma knew that he couldn't wait out any longer. Using his right hand, he reached for his 2 fingers to go inside, feeling the inner workings of her mouth to find where the ruin had been placed. Once he made contact, he would know. The magic should be dispelled. He could feel the rumbling from the surface above. The fighting was only getting more and more intense. He had dragged Mikasa into this. He couldn't let her down. Not now. They had come too close. And he felt like he was meant to do this. This was his moment. Eventually, he would make contact. The second he did, his power would work to erase the ruined spell placed on Index. The spell that bound her memory. The one that the church used to control her. At that moment, Index's eyes would begin to open as they glowed a faint red. She began to speak in an monotone manner, stating that John's pen mode had been activated. Immediately, a magical barrier would form around Index as she began to float. As Mikasa, Stripe, Kaori, and Magnus continued fighting desperately to fend off the other, a shot bolt of magic would shoot from out of the laboratory as Index would begin to float into the sky. The others that had remained inside of the laboratory had evacuated, Touma following soon after. The moment he made it to the outside, Kaori would restrain him, and Magnus was on top, ready to burn him away. Misaka and Stripe would defend him. What did you do? You damn brat! Why? Why couldn't you just let her go? You just had to play the hero, huh? And now you've doomed her. You've doomed all of us! I should have killed you when I had the chance. I should have burned your ass to cinder! I won't make that same mistake again. I'll see you in hell! Wait! Touma would yell. Magnus, you have to listen to me! I'm done listening! Do you see what's going on? You don't know how much pain she's in. How much she has to endure. Every time she loses everything! But no, instead of just facing the lesser of two evils, you just had to go and be selfish. Why won't you listen to me? Touma would summon the T-spheres, pushing away Magnus as he stood up. I don't have time for this. You want to go on and on feeling sorry for yourself. It makes me sick. She's my friend, and I have to do this to help her. You've been lied to, Magnus, Kaori. That's what you didn't know. I learned what happened. Michael used to work with you. You guys were a team. Yeah, and then he betrayed us. He didn't betray you. He was trying to help Index. It's the church. The church has betrayed you. There is a spell that was placed on Index. That's why her memory has to be wiped every year. The human mind can hold far more than you're giving it credit. It was done just to keep her on a leash, to keep her from rebelling. I'm not your enemy, and neither was Michael. It's Necessarius. It's Lord Tech. He even knows about Lord Tech, Kari would say. So even if you know all of that, what does this have to do with Index? Right now, I need to get to her. It's the only way that I can destroy the spell that's binding her. Once I do, she'll be free. You won't have to erase her memories anymore. You won't have to keep starting over. You've said it yourself. You've always had to play the bad guy, right? Well, now's your chance to be the hero. Be the hero that she needs right now. And when it's all said and done, if you still want to fight, if you still want to take me on, go right on ahead. I'll fight you, Kari, and every single sorcerer that Necessarius wants to throw at me. I don't care. I won't let you or anyone else hurt Index ever again. So what's it going to be, Magnus? Are we going to fight? Or are we going to save Index? The choice is yours. Magnus, Kari would say. You don't actually buy this crap, do you? You don't actually think that he's going to help her. He's just going to make it worse, like he always does. But what if he's telling the truth? And what if he's not? If he's wrong, we'll lose Index. We lose everything we fought for. Tell me, can you really make that kind of sacrifice? I can. What? Index is our friend. We have to do everything we can to help her. If he can actually save her, then why can't we put our faith in him? Why? Why would you? It's not about him, Magnus. It's about Index. She doesn't deserve this life, what we've had to do. I'm tired of it. Even if it's a 1 in a million chance, a 1 in a billion chance, we have to take it. We have to try. I'd hate to interrupt your little love fest, but hey, Touma? What is it, Mikoto? Yeah, your murdering nun is about to shoot a giant laser at us! Everyone would hit the deck as Index would go on the attack. Touma would bear the forefront of her blast as she activated another one of her spells, her mind going into autopilot in her body in self-defense. St. George Sanctuary activated. Known target, first to be neutralized. Touma Kamijo. Touma would raise his right hand, bearing the brunt of her blast, as he looked to the others for help. Come on, guys, what's it going to be? You can't leave me hanging. Come on! Damn it! Magnus would place his hand on Touma's back. I don't trust you. I don't believe you for a second. I'm only doing this for her. If she dies, you're going with her. You understand me? Kari would stand behind them as well, along with Stripe and Mikoto. Yeah, I hear you. But that's not going to happen. Because we're not going to let her die. Index, we're going to save you. This concludes A Certain Magical Index, Sage of Knowledge. What if Touma Kamijo was Mr. Terrific? Season 1, Part 5. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned next time as we continue and we approach the mid-season finale for a certain magical index, Sage of Knowledge. What if Touma Kamijo was Mr. Terrific? Season 1, Part 6, the mid-season finale. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.